Hello, and today I'm going to talk about JavaScript's number object. Now, as I said in my last video, an object is a special type of data structure that contains both data and instructions for working with the data. In our case, with the number object, the data will be the number and the instructions will be the methods, some of which I will describe to you in this video. So to begin with, how do we specify a number? Well, you can do that in one of two ways. You can create a numeric literal, so that would be one way of constructing a number. So we could say const num equals 23, and let's log that out. Or we could say use the number constructor by saying what did I do there? Spelling mistake, first error of the day. Okay, so we can see that when I log num, it comes up. If I actually change that to something else so it's easy to see, you can see that we have the numerical value of 25, and then we have these square brackets, and I think that's JavaScript's way of telling us that this is an object, and we can actually confirm that by using the typeof keyword. And voila, 25 is a type of number, and num, which we created using this line here, is a type of object. Now there are a few different ways of specifying the numbers. By that I mean the formats. So there is decimal format. Actually, let's log that out as well. There is floating point format. We could write something like this. We can also write floating point numbers by removing the leading zeros, and that would still work. We could use exponential format. So in that, with that, you would take, for example, the number 1000 and write it as 1 e to the 3. And you can see here you get exactly the same value, 1000. You could specify it using a binary format, so you would say 0b, for example, 1111, and this outputs the number 15. You could use hexadecimal format, so we could say, for example, and that outputs as the number 255. And we can also use octal format, so it will be 0 O 22, and that is the number 18. Now to talk about a few of the methods, let's just give this a value again. So we have, first of all, the toString method, and this returns a number as a string. So we could say to. Now what we see highlighted here, the radix, is the number base that you want to use. Now by default the numbers will be converted to base 10, but if you wanted hexadecimal you could set this to something else. So we'll just leave that to its default, and we'll just run this, and we can see its output to, that's actually a string. We can probably see that confirm that by doing a typeof, and we see that there it's a string. By default it's in base 10 format, but we can specify anything we want, so we can say hexadecimal format and it comes out as 17. We could say binary format and we see it as 10111, and of course octal format we see there. Now apart from that, we also have something called, so we'll just remove that, to exponential, which returns a string with a number rounded and written using exponential notation. So if we were to, let's just use a number here, so let's use 1 2 3. Okay, and this is returned as exponential notation, so we get 1.23 e to the 2, e to the positive 2. We have 2 fixed, which returns the number to a specific number of decimal places. So in this case, let's just clear this and run this again. So in this case we see our number here returned to 3 decimal places, accurate to 3 decimal places, and we have 2 precision, which returns the number of digits you want to see. So for example, this number as precision with the argument 4 would return a number which is 4 digits long. 2 precision returns the number of digits you want to see. So in this case, this number with 2 precision past the argument 4 would return a number which contains 4 digits, albeit one of those numbers being a fractional part. We also have something called parseInt, which returns a whole number. So we could say, let's actually get rid of the rest of this. So we could say, for example, parseInt we could say, okay, the cool thing about this is that parseInt detects the first number it sees in a string. So this could actually be a string, so we could say 10 ducks, and it would still pick up the fact that there's a number in there. It will pick up the first number and reject the rest of the string. And very similarly, spelling mistake, and similarly parseFloat parses a string and returns a floating point number. So we could have something similar to this. And as you see here, the floating point number is extracted from the string, and that's what we get here, 10.03. The number object also has a number of built-in properties, which I will mention a few, although it'll probably take too long to go through all of them. We have something called, this is called number dot max value is the is the maximum number that can be represented by JavaScript, although it isn't accurate. If you want the largest accurate number, you would use something called max safe integer, which is the largest accurate number that doesn't involve any rounding or truncation. Similarly, there is something called min safe integer, and we have positive infinity and similarly negative infinity. If you want to learn more about these built-in properties, see the link in the description below. But I think that's all for now. I'll see you next time.